All right, folks, for this video, we're gonna go ahead and put this newel up today. This nice big fat juicy newel we had custom made for us. So we're gonna have to cut it. It's very expensive, so I just want to cut it once. I've been kind of measuring it out. You can see the tape where my center line is going to be for the balusters and things of that nature. As you can see, the baluster is going to be a little bit within the step, and it's going to take up more than 36 inches when you get up there, but historic house where we were building the existing staircase. So that's not a problem as far as code's concerned. So the goal is to put the newel up. It's going to be about 33.5 inches high. And we'll deal with that rail later. But the fact we just have to get the newel on the top and the bottom first, and then we'll have to make the rail, which will be fun. So we're going to hand make the rail as well. But first thing I have to do, oh, that scared me. First thing we have to do is basically open this up. I'm going to have to remove some of these brackets, set the newel in, and then cut it so it's even with the edge here and sits down, and we can bolt it in and nail it, all that good stuff. So let me just set this down so I don't drop this and put a bunch of dings in it. And I have to get some tools to take these brackets out, so I'll go get that and be right back. All right, got my trusty rusty socket gun, so we're gonna take this bracket out. One bracket, and we'll save the screws. All right, let's put the newel back in. All right, so first thing is make sure we're aligned with the laser, so I'm going to put it up flush against where I want it. And the other thing is I should grab a level just to make sure. All right, so we're right center on this button, which tells me we're lined up with the tape stripes I put on. So now put this down in there. And the next step is basically get a nice sharp pencil and slide this newel over. Slide it back as much as I can. And we're just going to scribe a line right here. Let's make sure that my rosettes are in the right direction. My rail is in the right direction, which it is. All right, so that looks good. So now we have to go in the same width as this piece, which is about 1 15/16 straight across. All right. Let's just take this newel and work on doing those lines, and we'll cut it. All right, so we're at the bandsaw down in the basement. Had to lug this thing down 3 flights of stairs, which was not cool, but we're here. So I just want to lower the blade, make sure I got good tension on there. And also I just want to make sure the blade's nice and straight. So let me move this over a little bit. It appears that we're out just a tiny bit. Just make a micro adjustment. All right, so that's nice and straight. So what we want to do is go real slow with this. I'm kind of as nervous as a petroleum large ship tanker captain in high seas right now. So I want to make this nice and straight. And this is the moment of no return. So I think I'll get on this side. Wait for that blade to stop. All right. The worst is over, I believe. Here's the end result. So I think that came out pretty good. Like I said, we got to clean it up just a little bit, but not bad. All right, just returning from the basement. Let's see how we did. Oh, man. Pretty good. We have to clean it up a little bit. It's just a little bit off, but not bad. The most intricate cut is going to be this. So we're going to have to probably use a template or something for that. But I'm pretty happy. Just had to mark where we need to chew up some meat. So right here, so right about here, we just need to do some chisel work because there's a little bit of a ridge. Show you what I'm talking about. So to make this a little bit better, we should need to take a little bit of meat on the inside, but it sits nice and flat where I want it, and then we'll have to cut here some 45s or whatever. Some 45s right here, I believe. So we'll probably take this off, be easier to do, and get that to sit real well in there, nice and tight joint, and then we'll lock it in place after we do that. But I want this to I want this right here to sit flush with the riser. So I have to draw that in about, looks like 1.25 inches or so. So we'll get there. Starting to break a sweat. It's not good for an old guy like me. All right, so let's do some bench work on this. All right, we'll straighten this out with a sander. Just use 60 grit, get it nice and smooth. Just want to see what the dimensions are here real quick. So almost 4 5/8. Okay. What I should do is just create some lines. See where I want to take it down. It doesn't have to go down much. All right, so let's do a test fit, shall we? See how that came out. All right, scoot Get up there. And just lock her in place. Everything looks good, nice flat flush. All right. Let's check for level. Just get the bigger ruler just to make sure. That's real good. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so now what we have to do is cut this thread right here to accept the newel. A lot of complex angles. First thing I want to do is just get the overall width. Make sure we do that. All right, so we have that. And the next step is, what we probably want to do is lift the newel out. And we want to see where our riser ends, because we want to put our newel flat to the riser. And go from there. Okay. So now, just get a caliper. And with this, I can just use the tail end of it to see. And my suspicion is that because of this curve, I won't be able to use the caliper. So we can go old school on this. Do one here, so I can capture the distance, put one on top, and then flip it over, and that will give me exactly where that edge is. Okay, so cut this in half. Do something like that, and we'll just nail it. Hopefully this has enough charge in it. We shall find out. These nails are a little long, so I don't want to stick my fingers too close to the edge. Gotta go get a battery. All right. There we go. All right, so now I just flip this over. Make sure there's not an angle on here. Just going to draw straight across. And that's where our nose meets the riser end. So that's good. All right. Let's put our newel back in. Slide it up, temporarily lock it in place. Make sure we're straight again. Okay. Now we make sure our lines that we drew here didn't move or shift. That looks good. That looks good. All right. So now what I want to do is set a template up. And what I want is about 12-inch pieces. So I get my template pieces. Had my template pieces. All right, so now we'll move the camera over a little bit so you can see exactly what's going on. All right, so now I gotta make a template to cut these angles into the step. So I just zoom in on that a little bit, just a smidgen. Okay. So now we have our trusty rusty acetone and our template. Plastic pieces, just kind of rub them up so they get a little bit cleaner. I just want to make sure this is nice and precise. So what I do is just open up the acetone jar, get this line to where I want it. Make sure my two pieces are perfect. All right. I just put a little bit of acetone on there, diffuse it. Takes a couple seconds. So I got that side. And I'm going to do this side. Making sure not to move anything. All right. All right. There's our template. So I think what I'm going to do is I can just follow my line right there that I already put down. So I'll trace that. I want to get a little bit of a sharper pencil than that. Right, so that way there, when I slide this back, I can slide it back along that line. So I know everything is in alignment. I moved the template a little bit just to make sure it didn't go out of place, which it did not. All right, so my lines are perfectly aligned. So now what I'm going to do is move this template back until you see the line that we created earlier. So we're talking about the line where the riser is on the bottom, because we want this flush against the riser. So there's a line there. Make sure that I'm still on the line on these two sides is my guide. And now it's just a fact of tracing out this piece. And I just want to go over there. I'm not too happy with the bottom. There we go. Okay. So this is the piece we have to cut out. I think we'll just do it in situ. I knew we were talking about taking it off, but I think it's going to be easier just to cut it right in there like that. I think I'll go with a jigsaw and just creep it up to the point of the riser, and then I'll take it over with an oscillating saw. Okay. This does have a little bit of a forward angle on it, so I'm not going to get up too close, but I think it'll do the job. If I even scratch that wood, it's not going to matter because the newel is going to cover it, but I just like to practice the art and get better and better at it. So we got that. All right. I know I'm gonna have to cut this side a little bit more, but let's just get it a test fit, see how it worked out. All right, so a little bit right there on that edge. This edge looks pretty good. Just right here. Right in the very edge. Probably get that with some sandpaper. We'll see. Or just a touch of the oscillating side. Definitely get to work out today. Okay. All right, let's give it another gander. Okay. Well, that looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. we can just fill that in with some black deck caulking. You won't even be able to see it. But that's pretty good. That's real good. All right, now let's see for plumb. Oh yeah, right on plumb. Wow, amazing. All right, so now what we're gonna do is just glue this thing in place. Put some temporary screws in here. Even though we're gonna go through the money side, we're gonna go through and we're gonna actually drill this out, make a plug, and put in some lag bolts, but I just wanna glue it up today and let the glue set. So it'll be nice and solid and it'll be plumb, and then I can put my screws in. My final screws, that is. But all right, I'm very happy with this. This came out extremely, extremely well. All right, so now we're just gonna drop some glue all around it and then just screw it a little bit in there. Let it set overnight. I do want to scratch up the floor a little bit with some 80 grit. All right. So I'm just going to layer some glue on the bottom where this thing's going. Put some glue on the side, glue in the front here, and go right there. Apply some downward pressure. Some pressure, get it to the side. And we take our clamp. Draw it in. And I want to get myself a rubber mallet or something. And just draw that in a little bit. Let's get a piece of wood. Okay, looks good. All right, check level, plumb, whatever you want to call it. Very good. Very good. So now, let's put these screws in. And what I'm going to do is just pre-drill. I think what I'm going to do is put it in the back first, close that gap up. Tighten up my clamp tension. All right, nice. And then let's go ahead and pre-drill here. We'll do an angle. All right. Get the longer screws to the side. And like I said, we're gonna go back and we're gonna do it right with some lag bolts and put some plugs in there and stuff. But just for the glue to set, we don't need to get that fancy. I am gonna verify plumb before I screw these in all the way, just to make sure. It has not moved. All right. Okay. And then one more for the back. All right, folks, so there you have it. First newel in. I think we'll stop with this as kind of a series of things that we need to do. But as you see, the cut was a little bit difficult in the second step there, but we got it in. It's nice and straight. It's very plumb. I'll get the camera down so you can do a close-up walkthrough, but I think it came out really, really well. So let's do the walk around. All right, so you see it fit really good. There's just a tiny gap there. Like I said, we can just use deck caulking black. It'll go good with the dark mahogany. But I think it came out really well. It's flush here. Let's check it for plumb. So we're bang on. That looks good. Looks good. All right, folks, there you have it. Appreciate you watching. Please subscribe, leave comments. I'll definitely answer them. And hope you have a great day. Be safe.